What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Welcome to your third stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and news report for Saturday, February 6th. So we have a lot to go over today. We have a lot to discuss. Here's the breakdown of what I'm going to talk about in today's video. First, I want to talk about how President Biden just changed his tune on the $15 federal minimum wage increase. We're going to discuss more details of the $1,400 stimulus checks. Yes, I did say third stimulus check, not second, and there's a reason to that. We're going to go over the news of the rental assistance programs. And lastly, I want to discuss what we are currently hearing regarding SSI and SSDI. So let's jump right into it. Now, many people have asked over the past week, am I still doing the promotion for other people's Robinhood links? And the answer is yes. Now, here's what you have to do. If you sign up and get your free stock with Robinhood, you could potentially get a $250 stock. I had two people last week send me a message saying that they got Apple. Apple is like a $130 stock. So you could potentially get free $130 worth of stock. Now, here's all you have to do. Go and sign up for Robinhood using the link down below. No, that is not my link. Okay? Use that link down below. And if you sign up, come back and put free money down in the comment section, and I will potentially pick one of you, and I will then promote your Robinhood link, and you could potentially get up to $500 in free stocks. So that's all you gotta do. Sign up, come back, write free money, and then we will move forward. So let's jump into the update for today. First, I want to show you this graphic that was done by the Washington Post. I think this is an incredible graphic. It outlines the entire $1.9 trillion stimulus package. Now, here's the reason why I want to show you this. The reason why is simple. Over the next week, we are going to see, well, actually over the next couple of weeks, according to Nancy Pelosi, we will see a lot of updates. We will see more details regarding this $1.9 trillion stimulus package. So I want you to show you this graphic, right? So here it is. We have $465 billion for direct payments, aka stimulus checks or survival payments. We have $350 billion for unemployment, $350 for state and local aid, $160 billion for COVID and vaccines, $146 billion for nutrition, public transit, veterans and policy changes, $170 billion for schools, $120 billion for child tax credits, $50 billion for small businesses, $35 billion for rental assistance, $40 billion for childcare, and $4 billion for behavioral health services. Again, the reason why I wanted to show you this and explain these is because over the next couple of weeks, we're going to get more details. These details will be huge for one simple reason. Right now, the Senate is split 50-50. That means all Democrats have to be on board with the amount, with the details, with the language. And if one senator is not on board for whatever reason, then this bill will have to go back to that committee and have to be reworked in order to make sure that this gets passed. Again, this means every single senator has to be on board. And if they are not, we could see more delays. But did you notice how I did not say anything in there about a $15 federal minimum wage? Number one, because it doesn't cost any money to the federal government. They actually make money off this. But the reason why I didn't say this is because last night, when President Biden was asked during an interview, are we going to get the $15 federal minimum wage increased? And he said, well, apparently that is not going to occur because of the rules of the United States Senate. He then goes on to say, my guess is that will not be in it, but I do think that we should have a minimum wage where you can stand by yourself and $15 per hour. And it doesn't have to be, boom, $15 per hour. However, according to most reports, over the past week, the rules of the United States Senate does not allow a minimum wage to be part of a budget reconciliation. We've been saying this for the past couple of weeks, and now we actually have confirmation that yes, this is true. It cannot be in there. However, President Biden did say that according to the rules that it does not look likely, but according to many experts, there's no way a minimum wage can be put into a budget reconciliation. They could try, but chances are it's going to be pulled out at some point. So, at the same time, what I want you to understand is that the $15 minimum wage that would be included in this stimulus package, the chances of this passing, even though they're slim, this is most likely going to be pushed off into the budget or into the infrastructure bill that we could see later on. So right now, this provision will be included at some point, but it might not be today or in the next couple weeks. We might see it in the next few months. And this is one of the reasons why Republicans are saying to Democrats, you do not want to do a budget reconciliation and throw this bill down our throat. Just stuff it down our throat, because if you do this, we are going to make your lives difficult coming up in the next few months. And everybody knows the infrastructure bill is going to exceed the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. The infrastructure bill is what many people are saying is going to help the jobs market come back, help people get a new job, put them back on their feet, put money back in their pockets, and potentially provide another round of stimulus. Maybe not checks, but another round of stimulus to the U.S. economy. But one thing that I want you to know is that according to recent studies, only 2% of hourly wage earners actually get paid minimum wage. That means most hourly wage earners are making more than the federal minimum wage of $7.25 per hour. That is big. And it's because of these lower income earners. That's the reason why Congress decided we should pass a bill that includes stimulus checks to provide for those that either are making very little money or those that do not have an income due to their jobs closing. But now, according to multiple reports, Congress is more worried about the higher income earners getting a stimulus check rather than providing for the lower income earners. And this is the reason why these delays keep on occurring, is because everyone's looking at the higher income earners saying, you shouldn't get a stimulus check. You two people shouldn't get a stimulus check, while those 85 people over there are begging to have something because they do not have money to even go and buy food, keep a roof over their head, or pay for a car to take their kids to school or even go to work. So we will see what happens there. Well, this is what we're hearing as of this morning regarding those $1,400 stimulus checks, aka direct payments, or like some people are calling them, survival checks. What we are hearing is the $1,400 stimulus check will not be an amendment. This is going to be a new bill. The $1,400 stimulus checks, if they are a new bill, what this means is this is actually our third stimulus check, not our second. Okay, just want to clarify that. But by doing this, here's one of the big things that's coming out. By doing a third stimulus check and not an amendment, what this does is this allows Congress to sidestep giving another $600 to adult dependents. Yes, if you are an adult dependent, you have an adult dependent on your tax return. Here's the issue with having a third stimulus check as opposed to the second stimulus check through an amendment. A third stimulus check would most likely provide adult dependents with $1,400 stimulus checks. However, it would not provide them with that retroactive $600. That is a big issue. That means for those people, they do not get the full $2,000. They only get $1,400. So what I can tell you is that the chances of adult dependents getting that retroactive $600 at this point seems highly unlikely, according to all reports. But we will know more in the coming weeks. We also know that children will get the additional $1,400 stimulus check as well, in addition to that $600, and there will most likely not be a cap on how many children you can receive stimulus checks for. So that right there could be big, especially if you have a large family. If you have 4, 5, 6 children, you could potentially be getting thousands and thousands of dollars just for your children alone. Now, it's because of these recent reports that Democrats still have a lot of work to do in order to get their entire party on board. What I can tell you is that right now, what we might see is more delays simply because of who does and who does not qualify for a stimulus check. So that's very big. This whole stimulus check issue is becoming a bigger and bigger issue. It doesn't have to be. Many economists are saying that it makes no sense to fight over the 1% getting a stimulus check when the 99% of people are still waiting. And we have probably about 3% of Americans who are still waiting on their $600 stimulus check. So it makes absolutely no sense. Now, let's address rental assistance, because this is another big thing that a lot of people have been asking for. First, here's what we know. States have already been given the funds from the U.S. government for their rental assistance programs. However, many states are making it almost impossible to receive these funds. what we are hearing is that in order for the rental assistance program to provide up to a full 12 months of assistance, or even a fraction of that, applicants are required to pretty much jump through those fiery hoops with the ball on their nose and spinning a frisbee and doing all these tricks. And it's ridiculous. For example, one person stating that they're being asked to provide a receipt of non-payment for each month no rent was paid. How ridiculous is that? Do you get a receipt every time you do not make a payment? No, you get a receipt every time you make a payment. But this one program, I don't know the state. I'm not even going to say the states anyway, if I did, because I don't want to bash them. But this one person saying that they have to provide a receipt of non-payment. A receipt of non-payment. That's ridiculous. Another example, one person says they are being asked to prove that the landlord has filed the eviction through the courts with court documentation. But the landlord's still waiting for the documentation to be returned because it hasn't actually been processed by the courts. So this is just another delay tactic. And another thing that I saw earlier today was one person is being asked for their W-2s and their employment pay. But the problem is their employer went out of business and is, as of right now, I guess according to this article, that they cannot get a hold of their employer to get a W-2. But yet it is on their employer. It is on their employer, and it's their employer's responsibility to provide a W-2 for all employees. Now, this is just another delay tactic. So this is ridiculous. Right now, these people are asked to just pretty much jump through hoops to provide, information that the state or county is wanting. So, as I've stated before, I want you to call your local housing authority and see what they will be requiring. And I want you to do this quickly, because if you have all the stuff ready to go now, as soon as the application opens up, then you will be ready. You'll have all the information that they need. Yes, you'll have all those, all your skills. You'll be practicing. You'll spinning the frisbee on your finger, balancing the ball on your nose, jumping through the fiery hoop, with the, lions underneath you, whatever, right? You're going to do everything that they ask, because right now you just do not want to be evicted from your home. I get it. So just go ahead and do that. Go ahead and call. You can call also, I think, 211 and get as much information from there as you can as well. But that's why I recommend get all the information that you can ahead of time, plan in advance so that you have your application, you are ready to go. You will be one of the first ones that hopefully receive some of these funding. Now, let's address SSI and SSDI, because I've been getting a lot of people asking me about this. Here's the hard part. Right now, Congress, it seems like they do not want to even touch Social Security. It seems like right now, President Biden doesn't even want to address it into mainstream media. In interviews, he doesn't want to address this. He wants to address COVID and stimulus. And I get it. Those are both extremely important. But we cannot leave out Social Security. He's talked about immigration, which again is very important. He's talked about the border wall, the pipeline. All right, he's talked about many things, but not really Social Security. Well, we have some news on that. The other day, we actually got multiple reports as to why President Biden isn't authorizing more money for Social Security recipients. And this is because right now he's actually worried about the fund drying up in 2035. That's only 14 years away. So, right now what we are seeing is that, according to multiple reports, his first course of action is going to be to stabilize the Social Security program and ensure that it lives on. This is his first course of action, just to stabilize it. Find ways to bring in more funding. Because right now, what we know is that, people that make, let's say, $1 million. You make $1 million a year, great. Well, you only have to pay into Social Security up to, I think, like $140,000. After that, you do not have to pay into Social Security and Medicare. So because of that, they're actually saving quite a bit of money. As a self-employed person, I would pay, I think, like 15.4% on my first $140,000 of income. And after that, I don't have to pay that 15.4%. So I'm kind of saving money there for me, but I'm also not paying into Social Security and these other programs. That's a big issue. So he wants to figure out ways to, how can I, either increase taxes, increase this number, have people that make over $400,000 pay more into this system, and how can I do that effectively? So that's one of the things that he's looking into. The next thing, he wants to boost benefits to retirees over the age of 85, simply because people over the age of 85 usually have very little income coming in at that point. They've usually dried up all their retirement income. They also usually have more expenses, and some people are looking into long-term care facilities. So because of that, he'd like to boost benefits there. This is another priority. He would also like to provide a boost to benefits for any widow or widower who have lost their spouses and now are limited with their income. So he wants to kind of give a boost to benefits there as well. And he supports giving caregiver credits to family members who are now taking care of and providing assistance for another family member. Now, I bring up all this to you because President Biden obviously has a plan. However, right now the problem is his plan is taking far too long, and it doesn't actually impact Social Security recipients today. It's looking at the future, which is great. We have to look at the future, but the problem is if people are impacted today, like they are with unemployment, or like they are with not having a job, and this is one of the reasons why we're giving a stimulus check. Should we be providing more income? Providing a larger stimulus check to people on Social Security? Some people ask that. Some experts are currently wondering why is one group of people more important than the other? For example, why are children getting all of the new proposals for additional benefits, yet we are leaving the elderly out to fend for themselves? That's one of the questions that somebody asked the other day. Right now, I have 3 children, so I'm very sympathetic to children going hungry, families in poverty and stuff like that. But at the same time, you provide for children because they are too young to provide for themselves. But who provides for the elderly when they are too old to work? When they can't actually, physically move? Who provides for them? It's a big issue. So I understand both groups. I sympathize with both groups. And we have to do something to provide for both of those groups of people. There should not be a priority. They should both be the priority. So that is what we know right now regarding stimulus, regarding rental assistance, regarding the $1,400 stimulus checks, and regarding where President Biden stands regarding SSI, SSDI, veterans, and things like that. So if you have any questions, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. As always, thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to stay subscribed or want to stay updated on everything that's going on, consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that is happening on a daily basis. So again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys on the next one.